This is the Chuck Stew Show. This is your boy, the doctor with all the drugs, aka Black Bauer. It's your boy, Dr. Pearl's Houston Book. And here is your host, the leader of the free world, Dr. Mr. Chuck Stew.
I'm the leader of the slave world, too.
Whoa!
If Kim Jong-un, I was telling Dr. Jugs, male gynecologist, this the other day when we were watching Fox News. Yes, you heard that right. Fox News, I was telling them if because of that guy that died, warm beer, because the government of North Korea beat the shit out of him, then sent him back in a coma, and then he died in the coma, coming back from overseas. I told him, you can go ahead and strap me up. I will join the military, and if you ship me out and paratroop me over there, I'm going to shoot that dude right in his fucking dome piece.
Yeah, I don't know. Why is it taking us so fucking long to handle North Korea?
Well, actually, it's very complicated. So, with the North Korean thing, it is the whole old thing with World War II because they're still communist. So, the whole world is going to turn into a shit show, pretty much, if Trump comes on TV and says we declare war. Because if we go to war with North Korea, that means China, Iran, and Russia will jump in to attack us, and most of Europe, South Korea, and others that are our allies. So we're basically recreating World War I and World War II if we storm their embassy.
But wait a minute, isn't Russia friends with Trump?
Supposedly, but they've been talking about in the news, even in the conservative news that's been going on this week, that we just can't trust Putin. I mean, the man's, they keep saying he's a butcher, he's a maniac.
A dude's a fuck, fuck Putin, fuck North Korea, and I'm not saying we need to just fucking declare war. Why don't we just send a fucking crack team of fucking Marines into fucking North Korea at night and fucking just assassinate Kim Jong in his fucking bed? We can do it. We have plenty of the fucking firepower. We could do that. Like, it's not like it's fucking, North Korea's a fucking joke. They're a joke.
Well, actually, that was a quagmire that was happening during the Clinton administration. He tried to take out the warlords in Somalia and try to send them food over there, and he sent about 300 soldiers over to Somalia, and that went incredibly badly. And that movie became Black Hawk Down. So, when we tried to do the right thing and send a couple soldiers in there with some food and shit, like just tell Kim Jong-un, look, you're not God, you're a piece of shit. Feed your fucking people. Take down those concentration camps, you fucking lunatic, or we're gonna fucking kill you. You can't exactly say that because he's most likely gonna kill our soldiers. We're gonna jump in, storm him, he's dead, blow up their capital, then China's gonna send soldiers over here Japan would actually back us.
Fuck China too. China can go suck a fat thumb.
You remember in the news that we're talking about where Trump sent out those, what was the mother of all bombs or something like that, and when he asked the prime minister of China if that would be okay to go ahead and go and shoot off the bomb, and he had to take a minute to think about it and said okay. You remember the reporter on MSNBC said, Trump, what exactly were you feeling when you sent the mother of all bombs to go hit those 2 airports in Syria? Like, what, and to take out what was like 40 insurgents and 3 innocent bystanders.
Oh yeah.
It's like, what were you thinking? And he said, let me tell you, that was the best piece of chocolate cake you've ever had, I've ever had. The chocolate cake was extravagant. We all loved the chocolate cake. It tasted great. Best cake I've ever had.
This man is a fucking professional comedian. He is the greatest television star of our age, and he's also the president. And I'm gonna tell you something. I am pro-Trump. I voted for that dude. And I think it's terrific, whatever, But I do gotta say, I do have a problem with his tweeting. For fuck's sake, man. How many times do you gotta tweet? Like, does the president really need to fucking tweet? I was just talking to Chuck about this earlier. Does the president need to tweet? That's the question that should be on everybody's mind. Because isn't he, too busy? Doesn't he have, other shit to do? Or is Trump really just sitting in his office, fucking on his phone, tweeting? What's going on there, Chuck? What do you think?
So, I'm actually waiting for it to load here, which it just did. And so, the next tweet, actually, we're going to be reading on the show because that's what pretty much everybody does. Fox News, every time I watch the Tucker Carlson show, or really any show on CNN, or really any show, they always talk about the president's tweets. Let that sink in. So, Dr. Pearl's Houston Book, what do you think about the tweet that he did 13 hours ago? His last one, he said, watched low-rated Morning/Joe for first time in long time, fake news. He called me to stop a National Enquirer article. I said no. Bad show.
You know, I support that statement, actually, to be honest. I've watched those news shows, and they are some fucking bullshit. I think it's a morning show on like NBC or some CBS. But either way, it is all bullshit. All these news fucking shows, they're fucking so biased and just shitty. It's like no one can just provide the news unbiased anymore. It just doesn't work that way. And I'm for fuck's sake, I'm tired of going to every fucking website and just seeing anti-Trump this, anti-Trump that. I don't give a shit. You know, like, I don't want to hear that. Like, for fuck's sake. Like, if I want to hear about politics, I'll turn on fucking TV or go to a website about it. I don't want to hear it everywhere else. I'm just saying.
Hey, you remember that one time, Dr. Book, he liked to, on his free time when he's not saving people by doing neurosurgeries and saving kids of cancer by specifically aiming for the exact cancer cells and removing them with his own scalpels. He likes to read about horror reviews for movies because he is a big buff in horror movies that are so bad they're great. Exactly. And you were talking about this, that we actually haven't been able to get on the show yet, but now that you're here, I need to ask, what were you thinking when you were reading about a horror movie and then the person talked about, we're in dark times because Trump is president, that had nothing to do with politics?
It just reminds me how journalism itself is currently dead. Like, and you can't blame Trump for that because journalism has been dead for a long ass time. But it just amplified it now that every fuck ass, 20-something writer, journalist in quotes, has to mention the fact that they're having a hard time because of Trump. Like, honestly, since Trump became president, my life has changed zero. Nothing has changed in my life other than what I have made it change. Nothing's happened. So for anybody to say that they're fucking affected by Trump's presidency, like, they're fucking idiots. Like, they need to get a handle on themselves or just kill yourself. Do yourself a favor and kill yourself.
Hopefully the people who watch clips and read from the Tucson Weekly listen to the Chuck Stew show. We're really hoping that because a lot of these messages do go out to you guys. Also, Dr. Pearl's book, what has been going on in the news yesterday that actually took in effect at 5 p.m. Fox News was counting it down. I watched it. I counted along with my family. The travel ban. So what exactly do you think from the 7 countries, really, and everybody else who is not an immediate family member, you're kicked out, or you ain't coming in. Did you see those protests where all those people were bombarding airports around the U.S. last night?
Oh, yeah. You know what? It's bullshit, because you know what? Those countries on that list have proven track records of producing fucking insurgents. And if you are stupid to believe that those countries are full of just people that love America and they just want to be here so badly, and we're just screwing them from the American dream because we have this travel ban. Well, you should just go there yourself and see how it is, because I'm sure you'd be killed immediately because they don't like your ass because you're white. Let's just say that. But to be fucking honest, like, I applaud Trump for that. He actually pulled it off. Good for him. He's doing a good service for this good country, and that's what I'm okay with.
Yeah, man, that's a statement that's completely agreeable with me. I mean, it's not. I'm just saying, like, that when it comes to, like, a lot of the liberals are just trying to do, like, they're doing the thing that they think is the right thing to do. They think it's correct to go ahead and just let all the people in from different countries and with the Muslim population. I'm sure they're just trying to do the right things, thinking to themselves, well, we're just bringing the people that just want to feed their families like the Mexicans. But it's like, it's been proven over and over again, they are not here to assimilate to our culture. 95% of all Muslims are here to invade the country. It's with have you seen Sweden? Have you seen Finland? Have you seen France? Have you seen several places in Europe going on this last year? Like, Ramathon, Bomathon, okay? So, it's been in the news nonstop of people blowing the fuck up. That London bombing in that giant building that happened like 2 weeks ago. The shit that was happening in, what was Brussels? What was that, the other city? So. Where's Brussels? Is that like Germany? Belgium. Okay, so look, man, I know a lot of the liberals and the people that are protesting at the airports, they have good intentions because, like, oh no, these people are just trying to feed their families. I'm sure, which some of them are. I'm sure. But look, dude, you believe Allah, you read the Quran,
you're a fucking terrorist.
You gotta leave. You gotta leave.
Teaching children to bomb people Fuck them. Right in their buttholes.
And without introduction, we will be right back. We're gonna have a little quick segment. Chuck Stew's gonna let you know about an exciting new advertisement, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes. Here's Chuck Stew live.
Chuck Stew has recently been brought to you by Katy Perry's new album. I think it's called Prism. I'm not exactly sure. She's got an eyeball in her mouth in the cover of the photo, and she is blonde right now, very short hair, and she's all about that action. So if you want to go listen to somebody that's woke, quote unquote, then I suggest going to buy Katy Perry's new album. It's not like the Illuminati's making her puppet or anything, and Satan's not fucking her on a nightly basis, but that's just coming from me. Hey, Chuck Stew, that's commercial segment. I did the commercial, now fuck y'all. So here we go for the halfway through the show. Right now, my name is Chuck Stew, and the guy who's the host with the most, he doesn't boast and he roasts the most roast, Dr. Pearl Houston Book, who is also the doctor and head of the Doctors Association of America, came out of Cambridge. We're on the show, and we're back. And we're talking about CNN, because there was a bombshell, boom, that blew up. What was it, yesterday morning? There was something that just completely blew up where 3 different people got fired from the Clinton News Network, or the fake news network, or however you want to call it. I don't necessarily think it's fake, even though Sean Hannity and President Daddy keep throwing out tweets saying, oh no, that's fake. And also Gavin McInnes is throwing out saying it's fake. Ben Shapiro actually had a very good thing to talk about when it came to people calling this fake news. I would say it's actually fake opinionated news from what he says. I mean, if you want to get like real news, you want something where the person actually has good moral integrity and it's going to hold the person's feet to the fire, I would highly suggest you listen to The Fallen State by Jesse Lee Peterson, or you would listen to the Ben Shapiro Show. That actually comes out on Facebook every morning at about 9 a.m. He does it Monday through Thursday. So I like to highly suggest those ones, but he was talking about when it comes to the news segment at the Clinton News Network, it's not exactly fake news, but it is. It's almost completely fake, but when Sean Hannity comes out and says, well, on Fox News, it's just all completely fake news, it's super fake. A lot of those news networks, including the independent ones and the podcast, the ones that Chuck Stew usually listens to, they're actually just taking certain clips from like MSNBC, like from the Rachel Maddow show, when they're taking things from CNN and different things that are of liberal interest. They're taking these small segments and they're breaking them down. Like kind of like what happens on Mr. Unfunny show from Comedy Central, the Trevor Noah show, whatever it's called. It's just breaking down segments. And it's a thing where it's like 4% of Americans trust CNN. Is that you really got to think to yourself, is this definitely a good thing? Because I'm going to go ahead and say it's not. Definitely that CNN is definitely biased. Do they really have any evidence suggesting that Putin and the Russians really, were playing the game, per se, and then they rigged the election? I did read some article a couple days ago that 5 million immigrants who don't have green cards or visas are voting, or actually have voted. So, is that necessarily fair? I'm just going to go ahead and say it's not. What a lot of people are saying, like 2.3 million illegal immigrants were paid by Trump's administration to vote for Trump. But even that guy came out, like where that dude was exposed from CNN. What was it? The advisor for CNN? He went, was secretly recorded saying like, the reason Hillary lost is because she wasn't playing the game. So, we already knew this was bullshit. The whole thing was a scam. It's not just saying like, oh, it's just the alt-right and the Trump supporters all the ones that just keep fucking up things. It's like, no, it's actually mostly coming from the left. It's always been that way. I'm not saying that nothing's bad's ever going on the right. With a 34% approval rating for Fox News Network, it's not even 50. That's not even 50%. That's not even one half of a coin. So I'm not saying that like that's just completely fine and well and dandy because they got 34 and CNN has 4%. Is there any news out there that's like almost 100%? Is there anything out there that has a complete, almost unbiased? If you're gonna see NPR, if you're gonna say NPR because they have those signs at the bus stations, at the bus stops that says, NPR, then the word under it with a period, trusted. It actually should have a comma and then continue that to make it a full sentence and say, well, not really, because there's a liberal agenda with NPR. Come on. You guys, Milo has said it at the second to last, or what was it, the Dangerous Faggot Tour, the last the last tour that he was on before he's going on Troll University, Milo was asking a guy who was trying to roast him at his own events again, which is awesome because that's the best part of the shows. It's the best part of Ben Shapiro's shows when he goes to the colleges and people are screaming safety. That's like the best part. But anyways, it's like the circus animals are out to play. Even Milo's saying, like, dude, you think NPR isn't biased? Like, come on now. Everybody's biased. I mean, Joe Rogan put out a picture that says all the different news networks and organizations that are the mainstream ones around the world and maybe some independent ones here and there. And said, oh, NPR was in the bubble that was in the middle. This is the one that has the least amount of bias. It's like, dude, I listen to NPR almost on a daily basis. There is so much shit on there. It's like, it's literally funny. It's funny to me. When people say things like that, it's like, come on, man. I'm not going to watch Rush Limbaugh. I'm not going to hear him talk about the Nordic countries. I'm not going to put on Rebel Media with Gavin McInnes to me and do just an asshole. Like, you guys, like, come on. Just because they're not cussing or anything, it's like, oh, no, just don't want to watch Alex Jones and InfoWars because him and Paul Joseph Watson are a bunch of couple of maniacs. Like, look, here's the thing. Whatever you listen to or watch when it comes to the news or whatever with politics, there's going to be bias in it. All of it has bias. There's not that don't have bias. It's not possible because everyone, if it's especially mainstream, it's gonna be pushing for an agenda. So don't come up here and give me that bullshit that NPR is not like it's completely unbiased and it's completely trusted, like just because they put it on the billboard or they put that dumb shit trusted on their website. Oh, it's like, okay. So what if Chuck Stu show, what if we get our own website on angelfire.gov? And we put on there, Chuck Stu, trusted under it. Chuck Stu, real news. Like, is that gonna make you think that this is real news? No, you have to listen to it. You gotta break down the different intricate parts of the show, and you gotta find out using other information. I actually wouldn't suggest Google or Wikipedia all that much, because they found out what happened with that, the whole Pizzagate thing, and how the first 2 posts on there, what I talked about on Chuck Stu last season, that they were lying about Pizzagate. So, Mark Zuckerberg with Facebook and whoever the fuck's running Google, that all them is working for the CIA. So you can't trust that. But you have to be able to use other independent sources with actual facts, and then you line it up with what you're seeing in the news. If that shit don't line up, that means they're biased. That's how that works. This is how all this works. So I'm just saying here, when it comes to that, it's utter ridiculousness that not you specifically, but anybody would just believe the shit. It's like, I'm sure there's a lot of like 12 and 13-year-old girls and people are just, they don't really know any better, who's watching this program with Katy Perry with her short, nasty ass blonde hair, and she's talking to this black guy about, things about the music business and things about like how she's now woke because she's a feminist. It's like, come on, man. Like, come on. Come with me. Stay with me here. What really grinds my gears is when people do that, because no, you're not. You're not woke. Let's put 2 parentheses on both sides here. Woke. You're not. If you are a person who agrees with third wave feminism, you are not woke. That it's like the opposite. It's like you're purposely putting yourself in a slave trade. That's like, everyone's going to be telling you what to do, tell other people what to do. Do not go against them, or they're going to put you on the fucking cross. They're going to duct tape your hands and legs together, and they're going to put fucking duct tape over your eyes, and they're going to throw you off a 10-foot building if you fucking disagree with them. Lacey Green, which is a strange time we're living in now, was actually she put out a video being caught between the red and the blue pill. Here's the thing here, like, everyone thinks, oh, she talked to Dave Rubin and she talked to Chris Reagan. Like, oh no, now she's a fucking asshole. Like, how does that make any sense to you? Like, how is that not ridiculous to hear? Like, come on now. Like, every time a feminist or whoever that is just completely of that side, and they have to have the purple colored hair and shit because they think they're being rebellious. Like, and then they're just going to pick at all these things, and they're like, you're going to do all this shit. And it's like they're not willing to hear other people's opinions or just other things that have to do with facts or logic or reasoning or decency or nothing. No, it's just, but everyone's just put, all these people that were on Lacey Green's team now are fucking unsubscribing, like what happened to the guy Cameron, Libertarian Socialist Rants, when he put out that video saying, oh, now he's considered feminism. But then the alt-right was doing that to him and like, oh, feminism, like, no, what the fuck's the matter with you? Unsubscribe. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you should use some common decency to hear the other person's side. Like Sargon of a kid tried to do at VidCon, which is look like a whole bucket of ass. I mean, VidCon just looked fucking terrible. I've never been to one of those. I don't want to go. I'm never going to one of those. That's fake news. VidCon's fake news. But we're going to be going to the next segment, the final segment here in the Chuck Stew Show. Stay in.
Welcome back to this Benevolent Bastards podcast. I am your host with the most. I have committed no crimes and have no intent to, but I love the NRA, Chuck Stew. And back, we're talking about for the Region Locked segments. This is Dr. Book segments. And Dr. Book, what are you going to be talking about for this day's conspiracy theory in the news this week?
Well, Chuck, we're going to be talking about what is known as the death of Cash and the secret group. Now, there's a conspiracy going on here that has been widely discussed, almost widely, universally accepted, that currently we're almost on the brink of just complete destruction here. We're talking no money, nothing, no identifications, everything's stolen from us, and it's all going to be done because of the advent of e-payments. Credit cards, debit cards, all of our things are going to be stolen from us, and we are going to just have nothing. The world's going to be devolved into an anarchist state.
Well, isn't it basically like a thing where they're going to take away coins and cash, and that everything that you do when it comes to a payment is going to be through a type of PayPal service?
Correct. Yes. Everything. In fact, everything that we have, medical records, dental records, friggin' everything's going to be implanted into us in the form of a chip or some kind of implant that's going to contain all of our records, and it's going to be held in one single server that's going to go down. And there's this secret group is going to take this down. Secret group made of elite bankers, whatever the fuck, Illuminati, whoever's controlling the world, they're going to take it down, and they're going to just it's going to end. I'm sorry.
The Rockefellers, Goldman Sachs.
And guess what? We're on the last leg, so we're talking, a couple months max.
Well, I mean, listen, lady, what were you saying about why exactly paper money would still be a thing? I mean, it's like how exactly can you get rid of that?
You can't get rid of it. The government controls you by money. And when you think about it, how do you pay people back? You can't pay people back with PayPals. And then if you are transferring and paying people back with PayPals, everybody's going to have your bank account number. Tell me how that's going to work. It won't.
I mean, isn't that already implemented now? And isn't that Bitcoin pretty much?
Yeah, Bitcoin's kind of bullshit though.
Yeah, Bitcoin, that's the thing that's not Bitcoin isn't backed by anything. A lot of people like to use Bitcoin when they're selling drugs and buying things like offline. There's, in the sanctuary cities like San Francisco, New York, there's actually a lot of shops of like produce, grocery places that take Bitcoin when you're shopping, but it's not. I mean, it's good that you're not going through Wells Fargo or Chase or something for a bank. Like, they don't control it. You control your own money. But if you get your shit stolen in Bitcoin, there's no backing for it, so you're not going to get your money back. So,
yeah. I mean, it is what it is. We're the thing. In fact, the matter is we're going to get our shit handled. That's just going to happen. No matter what you can do, there's no end. We're done. Sorry.
I mean, pretty much. It's I mean, they were doing the whole Occupy thing in like 2013.
Enjoy life while you can, because it's just so we're running down a clock here.
Well, pretty much what for the last minute, what the listen lady was saying is that we pretty much are going to need coins and paper bills. Like, we're still going to need those things. It's nice, I guess, to have a PayPal account to be able to pay for most of your shit that's like not food. Like, if you want to go on Amazon or eBay or whatever, like, yeah, I guess it makes sense, but that's connected to your bank account. I mean, but listen, lady, there's already hundreds of people that work for certain organizations that had chips implanted in them that has all their banking information, their social security card, their medical history, like everything's in a little chip on their wrist or their neck. So, I mean, it's already here. It's just, but it's very small. It's a very small amount of people.
That's just a way for the government to control you that much more. That's all it is. These chips, I don't understand the point of it. If you, I'm lost, can you scan me? Tell me where I'm at?
No.
I mean, the way that this is now, we've got so many liberal
My cat
fucks
has a
that
chip.
don't even know what's going on. They could probably use the chip because they're so drugged up, they don't even know where they're at.
You know, the government controls these chips, and they can just kill you at a moment's notice. If you have a chip in you, they can just, activate.
Yes, because the chips have GPS tracking in them too.
Yeah, and they'll have an app where it's just a button that they have to press. Next thing you'll know, their head will explode.
Yeah, that's right. Like the movie Battle Royale. That's right, and The Matrix, and Keanu Reeves.
Next segment here is called
Listen, lady.
Ask the Listen Lady. And we've got our resident Listen Lady here in the studio with us, and she's been talking. This is a new segment, first time ever, Chuck Stew. What we're going to be doing here, we're going to ask her a question about life. Someone here submitted this question to us, and we're going to see what she thinks. So let's get this thing going. All right. So this question is going to come to us anonymously. Most likely it's because of the subject matter. Question is, how to confront college roommate who smokes weed, aka marijuana, aka Mary Jane. All right. Now
Double
this
scabbers.
guy, I'm gonna read a little bit of the backstory here. It says, I've been living on campus for the past year, and I have a new roommate who smokes weed inside the dorm room. I only used to be on like once a week, but now it's like every other day. I tried talking to them about it and how my room starts to smell. It gets on my clothing and headaches, but they are unwilling to work with me. On top of that, I have moderate asthma, and I fear that it can have an effect on me. No. I know that it's none of my business, but as far as I know, they don't use it for any medical purpose, and the last thing I want is for my health to be jeopardized, so what should I do?
Well, let's go ahead and start with taking that big tampon right out your vagina.
Oh!
Smoking weed is the greatest thing. For all you know, it might cure your asthma, okay? Well, no, not necessarily. Please don't try that at home. But I think that you should probably sit down and ask him, if you want to communicate, hey, can you roll me one too, buddy? Weed is the greatest thing. It helps you with sleep. It helps you with anxiety.
It could help the asthma because the drops are the edibles, so it can help that.
Well, yeah, and it's known that the THC has helped epileptic seizures. It's helped people feel better with cancer. That's just the greatest thing in the world. Why would you not want to smoke the marijuana? Please.
Give him headaches. It was on his clothes too.
Headaches, they got ibuprofen for headaches. Man up.
And here's the thing, as the resident medical advisor here on the Chuck Stew Show, the marijuana will not increase your, and it will not hurt your asthma. It will not give you any medical conditions. There have been no proven negative effects of marijuana on the human body, so.
And personally, if we all smoked weed, I don't think there would be any wars. Everybody would just want to sit down, smoke a joint, and have a grand old day.
Sing Kumbaya.
Sing Kumbaya. You don't want to fight anybody. Our obesity might go up a little bit, but when you eat on weed, it's amazing. I've got these two here finger fucking themselves just thinking about marijuana.
Right,
it's great.
Next question. All right, listen, lady. Next question comes from America. And it says, why do most college-educated people vote Democrat?
I gotta go vomit.
Well, this is actually a big issue with today's society.
Brainwashing.
Voting Democrat. What I personally think, this is what's gone wrong, is there are no discipline on anybody's children anymore. Okay? Big dick stank dad, all right? You should probably stop whatever you're doing, because that is not healthy. But back to the college-educated people. What happened is everybody has become overprivileged. We have a bunch of spoiled, little, tiny, get what you want, right when you want, bitches trying to take over this land. Let me tell you something. How can you be one to be okay with abortion, but yet against the death penalty? How does that make any fucking sense? Can you tell me? Nope, because it's the mind of a Democrat. You don't understand shit for shit. It's okay to kill an innocent tiny baby, but you're not gonna kill somebody who fucking raped a tiny little baby? Y'all should go kill your own selves now, please. Not really. I'm not responsible for any death penalty.
Hey, do something constructive and go kill yourself. This is
I mean,
Dr.
when it comes
Pearl.
to the death penalty, it's like a thing where if the person has been proven that he fucking did it, then it's kind of like an eye for an eye thing. It's like he knew or she knew what the consequences were of doing that sadistic crime if they did it. So
This is what I have to say about that as well.
15 seconds.
Oh, I only have 15 seconds. Don't rape children!
Alright, this is Dr. Pearls. The last segment of the night, we're going to do something special here. We're going to take a toast to someone who recently passed away. Today is an unfortunate day because we are going to be toasting to Mitchell Henry. He was a football player in the NFL.
real football.
He's only 24 years old, folks. This is in the prime of his life. He got signed to the Baltimore Ravens practice squad on November 7, 2016, released 3 days later, and right after that started feeling a pain in his shoulder, and he had a cancerous mass. He died from acute myeloid leukemia. So we toast to you, sir.
Holy shit! Yeah, that's toast to him. Sorry about that.
Too young to go.
Too young, too hung.
Too young, too hung.
Shut up, Maggie!
This is to you, football player.
This is the Chuck Stu Show.
Listen, lady, I had a great time. Thank you very much. Can't wait for next week.
Oh my god.
Fuck you.